Hi, welcome to Eat Well, Be Happy. I'm Deborah.
I'm Aya.
And we're going to be making 3 ravishingly delicious dishes.
Yes.
Aya loves eggplants, so
Yes,
she's going to be making a
Greek eggplant salad.
Notice she has trouble saying that, but she loves it anyway.
Yes.
And then I'm going to be making a scallop curry, and we're going to serve it over lentils and rice.
Wow.
And then we're going to be making a flourless nut cookie.
Wow.
And again, knowing my customer here, knowing that Aya loves chocolate, so I'm going to put a chocolate drop in the middle of each one.
Ooh, I can't wait.
She's a fantastic chopper, so I'm going to let her chop first.
Yes.
All right, so.
Okay, so Greek eggplant salad, we need 2 eggplant or 3 eggplant or 2 zucchini and then 2 red pepper, yellow pepper or 2 onion, but I'm gonna chop one of each. And then this is goat cheese, feta cheese, right?
It's a goat cheese. It's actually like a soft, sort of a creamy goat cheese.
Right.
Which, and in this you could use feta, you could use anything.
Right. So first, I'm gonna chop this eggplant pretty big. How big it is, do you think?
That looks good to me. Yeah,
Yep.
bite size.
Yep, because it's gonna be shrink when you roast it.
Why does it do that? I guess the moisture evaporates. Yeah.
I don't know.
So we know eggplants are one of the nightshade families, and the nightshades are potatoes and peppers and eggplants and tomatoes. And a lot of people with joint issues may notice a little twinge in their joints if they have a problem and they eat nightshades. But I don't know.
Okay.
It's hard to believe that in Europe they used to think these were poison.
Right.
And yellow peppers are, of course, really high in vitamin C.
Yep.
Notice how beautifully she cuts that pepper?
What? What? Is it beautiful? Yes.
It is beautiful.
Yep. Okay. So.
So bite size again.
Yep.
So again, we're using these wonderful enamel-coated iron paella pans, which are phenomenal. You want me to scrape in?
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Is it okay, eggplant?
Yep. I could do that to help, but
Okay. So, but I don't want to chop your hands.
I appreciate that. Oops. Put that in our compost.
Here you go.
Very good. And you could use any vegetables. So if somebody doesn't like peppers, I love them because of the color, but I'm not nuts about the flavor.
Right.
They could use anything.
Yep.
As long as they use the eggplant.
Yep. Here you go.
You want to
And
do
an onion?
An onion?
Yep. Maybe I want to do one more something.
So Aya, this is Greek because all these vegetables are grown in Greece. But would you say it's also grown in Japan? Same vegetables?
Yep. Yeah, but Japanese, the Asian eggplant is more thin.
Thinner?
Yeah, thinner.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Different flavor or no?
I think it's different flavor, but it more like a strong flavor, I guess. More like...
The skin is a little bitterer.
Skin is, I think, softer.
Softer?
Yeah,
Okay.
but no, I don't think it's bitter, but it's soft skin.
So how, in Japan, how do you primarily use eggplants? Do you roast them? Do you steam them? Do you saute them?
We use sauteed because our Japanese dish are influenced by Chinese cooking. So we do sauteed with a lot of garlic and then hot chili. Or we could use a tempura, deep fry. I love deep fry one. Yes, deep fry makes everything good.
That's true.
Bad food, but it's good. So I'm gonna make some more.
Yeah, you could fry ice cream and it would taste even better.
Yes.
And these are really lovely local summer eggplants, and you can tell because they don't have big seeds.
Right. Yeah.
All right. And we're going to be putting these in the oven at 450 for about an hour, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, I think 400 is
400,
good, right?
okay.
It depends on the oven, but I think 400 is good.
All right, so notice we didn't peel the eggplants.
Nope.
All right, so now you're going to be adding your
Olive oil. Yeah.
which is right here, darling.
Yeah.
About 2 tablespoons,
I think so.
okay?
And then, can I put in a little bit salt and pepper?
Of course you can.
I'll do later.
She asked the queen of salt whether salt and pepper, the
No,
queen
because
of...
I might, you know, can I just?
Yes. What is she asking me?
No, because okay, when I prepared the kitchen for this show, honestly, I, roasted it separately.
Yeah.
So
And you had to
wasn't
wear
sure.
rubber gloves as well.
Right. So I wasn't sure if I could mix with
Yes, you
together.
can.
Okay, here you go.
All right, you want me to put that into the oven for you?
Yes, please.
All right, so we are putting this in the oven for about an hour.
Yep.
All right. And in the magic of television,
Yes. We have.
you need a bowl, huh? You have your bowl.
Yeah. Can I put this one here?
Yeah.
Right.
So
So I'm gonna.
we've put that into the oven, and you're probably wondering why this is so fast. That's because Aya has already roasted a batch. You can see how they shrink down.
Right. I cut it about 2 inches each. The diced, but it's going to be very, very small.
Very small.
Yeah.
So we've cut the eggplant a little bigger, I think, than,
Yep.
sorry, the zucchini a little
Yep.
bit bigger.
So
Thyme, a little thyme,
this
about a
is,
teaspoon of thyme.
We use 3 kinds of herbs, and then rosemary, and then thyme, and then basil. With the cheese. Yep. We're gonna use this cheese.
You want a rubber opener?
I can. Yes, please.
Well, they say that
Yes.
Eggplant was fed to the slaves in Egypt because it made them strong.
I can't open. I'm pretty strong, but I can't open.
Well, how about if I whack it on the floor first?
Here. Magic.
So she's had eggplant, she's now nice and strong.
Yep. So,
Right.
and then I'm going to use.
You can do that, you can do however you
Okay.
like. It's up to you.
Yep.
And this cheese comes from the Painted Goat Farm in New York.
That's
And
good.
it's just absolutely, I don't know how they made cheese so delicious, but they
Yep.
really do.
It's like a bell shape.
Yeah.
So bell cheese.
And they have little pink peppercorns
Yep.
in there too.
Now I'm going to use how much? Sorry.
About a quarter of a cup, and
Yes.
I bet you we'll be a little bit over, but it's okay.
Right.
We'll just rub it on our elbows or
Yep.
on our faces afterwards.
Yes. For your beauty.
You're not going to use all that cheese?
Okay. I'll use it. I'm sorry, I'm stingy.
No, we definitely want all that cheese.
Okay. Yes.
So the nice thing about goat cheese is that it's much easier on the digestive system too.
Right.
It has actually has more calcium than cow's milk.
Oh, really?
And also a lot of people who can't do dairy or cow's milk seem to do just fine with goat cheese.
Okay.
Oh, does that look beautiful, Aya?
Yeah. Lemon juice gonna be splash.
A splash?
Splash.
Say splash.
Splash.
Good.
Yes. I have a difficulty. Oops, it's not a splash. It's a dump.
So don't try this at home. That's
Yes.
what we're trying to say.
Right. But I think it's splash. It good amount.
Yeah, it'll be just fine. So it just goes to show that if you do things like this at home, it's fine. You just fix it.
And
Oh, that looks wonderful. You have to taste it though.
yes, I think I'm gonna put a little bit more salt and pepper.
Without even tasting it?
I think so.
All right.
A little bit. Because yes. Yes.
It looks beautiful to me.
Thank
But I
you.
think we should both taste it.
Taste it. Okay.
And
More pepper? I love black pepper.
I love more salt and more pepper,
More
but
salt.
it's delicious as is too. So we could let people add it at the table themselves if they like. So we're going to be making a curried scallop dish. And you could make this again with whatever protein source you like. I mean, it could be vegetarian, it could be tofu, it could be tempeh, it could be chicken, it could be beef, it could be whatever. But we're going to be using scallops today. And our recipe says that we're warming 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame oil. So I guess we will turn it on.
Yep.
It's just a little. And toasted sesame, this is from Japan. So in your honor.
Yes. I love
Toasting
sesame
oil.
oil. Yes.
And then we're going to be putting in 2 tablespoons of curry powder. So 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of curry powder, and 8 cloves of garlic.
Do you have enough?
We'll see.
Okay.
All right. So I need my little paring knife. There it is. So 1. Too high a heat, I think, maybe
Yep.
a little bit. So
And
you
one.
want to do this on kind of a medium heat.
Yep.
The high heat will burn everything,
Burn everything.
to smithereens. The wonderful thing about toasted sesame oil and curry is that it just smells so wonderful.
Good. Yes. When I make coconut sweet potato
Soup?
curried coconut sweet potato soup, we use sesame oil and then garlic, ginger. It's really good.
Do I need more sesame oil, you think?
I think so.
I think so too.
Don't be afraid.
Okay, I'm not afraid. I could never be accused of being afraid when it comes to good fat or oils.
Right.
So we're doing that, and then we're going to add a can of coconut milk.
Yep.
And I debated whether to use 1 or 2 cans of coconut milk, so
Right.
I'm not sure. We could always add another one afterwards if we
Right.
decide we like that.
Yep. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful.
And I'm using a full fat
Yep.
coconut milk, and I'm
Yes.
using one without sugar and without preservatives. So make sure you do the same.
Yes.
So after that, we are adding scallops.
Yep.
And, dripping. I was thawing these overnight in the refrigerator because that's what they say to do, and they were previously frozen. And I think most of the time you go to the fish markets, a lot of the scallops have been previously frozen too.
Yep.
But this is about 2 pounds of a preservative-free
Okay.
scallop.
Yep.
And try not to splash you. Nice big sea scallops.
Wow. It's gorgeous.
And then we're going to add some carrots, some zucchini, and some jalapenos.
Okay. So can I chop the carrot?
Oh, you can chop the carrots for me. Here, you do here.
Yes.
And you're right, I did move the board.
Right. Okay. How can I chop the carrot?
How about if you do them kind of in half moons?
Okay. Half moons.
And I'm going to take out the center of the jalapeno.
Okay. I got it. Okay.
That's fine.
Half moon.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So you like things spicy?
I love spicy food. Yes.
All right, then we're going to add, I'm not asking how everyone else likes it, but we're going to add a lot of the seeds
Jalapeno?
then. Yep.
Yes.
So the recipe calls for the 2 pounds of scallops and the toasted sesame oil and the teaspoon of curry powder. And it calls for 2 jalapenos, but I think I'm going to use 1 because these are a generous size.
Okay.
And I picked them last night in my garden, nice and fresh, so I'm thinking they'll also be spicier.
You are very lucky.
I am very lucky.
Yes.
It's about the only pepper plant that the bugs don't come after
Huh.
because it's spicy.
Right.
Last year I had a squirrel that had a taste for spice.
Oh.
And he would take a bite out of every jalapeno.
Right.
All right.
too low, maybe.
Right. And I know I've said this before, but I didn't know until recently that zucchini is not a vegetable. That's actually a fruit.
How about a pumpkin? Is it a pumpkin or a squash?
Well, pumpkin is the cucurbit family, and that is a vegetable. That's the same family as
Okay.
cucumbers and other things like that. But I don't know why zucchini aren't considered a vegetable.
Are you sure?
That's what they say online.
Really?
You know all those ads about if they said it on the internet,
Wow.
it must be true.
Right.
All right, so I'm not cutting these in small pieces. And I'm going to add those to our skillet too. I don't think we need a second can of coconut milk. I think
No?
the one can is just perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else to
Let's chop the cilantro.
Okay.
And maybe that we'll put on the top afterwards instead of
Okay. Instead of mix it.
And what's so interesting to me is that no matter the same recipe, everybody prepares it differently. And you can say a half an inch, but everybody's half inch is different and everybody's thickness is different. And it's really, I always cut things pieces too big, so it's hard to fit into the mouth, even though I say to be careful not to do that.
Right.
And you always cut them a little finely. So it's always interesting to me. All right.
Because I'm Japanese, we don't use like inch or we use a centimeter. So it's always confused.
That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. That doesn't.
That's my excuse always.
All right. So while you're doing that, I'm just going to wipe off this board from the jalapeno so we can get ready to make the cookie.
Okay.
All right. Here, I'm going to give you the compost bucket on that side now.
Yep.
That's the nice thing about working in kitchen. I mean, if you're working with a friend, it's really makes all the difference in the world.
Right.
Early in the day, I made some lentils and brown rice, and I just put a cup of brown rice and a half a cup of lentils into the pot with 3 cups of water. So I cooked lentils and rice because we're going to have a lot of liquid, and I want to have something to absorb the liquid, something to spoon out over it. And lentils, as we all know, are really, they're in the legume family. They're the easiest legume for us to digest. So they don't cause gas for a lot of people who get gas from other beans.
Right.
And the brown rice has lots of fiber and lots of the B vitamins. So we're going to be serving that because we all need to get more beans into our diet. So we're going to be making a flourless nut cookie. And I find that a lot of the issues that we have now is that we eat too much bread, we eat too much flour. So it's a good idea to sometimes to make a cookie that is not so, doesn't have flour, it's just ground up nuts. So we're getting higher protein, we're getting good fats. So our recipe, and I always have to look at the ingredients, and it comes from, as all these recipes today come from one of our cookbooks. But this one, if you make the full version, it makes a tremendous amount of cookies, and we're making not the whole recipe.
Okay.
So I have in here about a half a cup of an almond meal and about a half a cup of pecan meal.
Okay.
And both of these are obviously gluten-free, and it says it on the little label there, because nuts don't have any gluten, but they do have a lot of protein.
Right.
So we're using an almond and a hazelnut. And you could use any kind of nut. You could grind your own sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds if someone is allergic to nuts. And then we are going to add about a teaspoon of cinnamon. A tablespoon, I'm sorry. And about a teaspoon of cloves. And then we're going to grate about a teaspoon of an orange rind. And I'm using, of course, an organic orange, so I don't have to worry about pesticides or herbicides or wax or any of those things. And I'm trying not to go through to the white pith, which is bitter.
Yes, it's bitter.
Yes. But anyway, does that look a little more?
A little more.
More? I love orange together with spices. It makes a really nice.
Yep, I think it's good. No? More?
And for anybody who's worried about nuts and the fat, all the studies show that people who eat nuts and make them part of their regular diet have a lot fewer problems with weight control.
Oh,
so
that's good.
things seem to normalize themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to use half a cup of coconut sugar. And again, I'm using coconut sugar because it's low glycemic. And then we're going to add 2 farm fresh eggs, and these happen to be organic from a farmer in our neighborhood. And then we're going to use a gluten-free vanilla. And a lot of people don't know that the alcohol.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Well, you extract the vanilla from the bean using an alcohol.
Right.
And there are alcohols from wheat, there's alcohol from
I
corn,
see.
there's
I
alcohol
see.
from sugar.
Right.
So if you're using one that says gluten-free, then you know it's not from wheat.
Okay.
So about a tablespoon. And then we'll just mix it. So I've got our cookies here. So it's another one of my one bowl,
good.
1 spoon cookie.
Yeah. It's easy.
Yeah. And then when we get this all mixed, we're just going to roll little balls of them,
Yep.
and we'll roll it in the coconut sugar,
Oh,
and we'll put it on the
they
cookie
cover.
sheet. Yeah,
Huh.
and then we're going to add, where's my little thing of chocolate? Oh, here it is.
Yep.
Again, because I know my customer here, and I know how
Yes.
nuts she is about chocolate,
Yes.
we'll put a chocolate drop in the middle of each. So I had the cookie sheet in the drawer by your feet.
Yep.
You just pull that out.
Do you need a baking sheet or something? No?
I'm just going to use a little
Okay.
spray here. Whoop. You can brush your own lecithin mixture on, or you
Yep.
can spray it like this. And this can is just about at the end.
Okay.
It's trying its best. I'm going to wet my hands so it'll be easier to roll. And if I roll, oh, it's too soft. You must have done something wrong.
Do you want to add the powder? The flowers?
No, I don't want to start monkeying. So how about if we just do this, and if you can get it and then just put it on the tray, perhaps. You know, goes to show, I made these last night, and last night they were fine, and today I made them. Who knows, maybe it's the temperature. Maybe I used too much vanilla. Or maybe, I know now, I was using half the recipe, but I used the full quotient of eggs.
Oh.
So that's my fault.
Oh, that's why.
That's what I did.
Ah.
We'll see how these work. All right. And then we're going to put a thumbprint in the middle of each. So we want to leave a little space between them
Okay.
so that they can... Whoops, let's do it that way. Oh, sorry. I'm getting myself confused. So we'll see if these spread like the devil or whether they hold their shape. And last night when I made these again, and I made it the right way without that extra egg, and they were firmer, I used up that whole amount of sugar rolling them in. So I used a lot of... I did.
Ooh.
It got all used up.
Right. But coconut sugar have a flavor, but not sweet. It's not
It's
too
not
sugary.
It's not
like,
sickeningly sweet.
Right.
And it's not that dead, flat,
Right.
just sweet without any notes or overtones.
Right.
I think that's what bothers me about white sugars. It's just sweet without any real nice flavor. And we're going to kind of put our thumb in the middle. Oh, sticky, sticky, sticky. And maybe if we can grab a spoon and you can sprinkle with a little bit more of the coconut sugar, maybe that'll spread keep the cookies from spreading too much. And then we'll take a piece of chocolate and just put it in the middle.
Yes. Sounds perfect for
All right, let's see. Where is that chocolate? Oh, there it goes.
me. Thank you.
I thought you were going to say one for me, one for the cookie. All right, this gives it a little shape too, which is kind of nice.
Maybe.
I have to take. All right. Beat me. All right.
Thank you.
I'll put these in the oven and let's check our stew there. Let's see. see if the scallops are done. We might need to turn up the heat a little bit.
Ready?
Oof.
It's very low though.
All right, so we're putting, we put the cookies in a 325-degree oven for about 20 minutes, and that's all it needs. And do you remember last night that I said I made a batch and I didn't have that extra egg? But I also hadn't found these in my house by then, so I had to use little scrimpy chocolate chips.
yeah.
So this batch
Cute. Very cute.
that I made last night actually are a little crunchy and harder.
Okay.
And the chocolate is a little bit different too. So at any rate, would you like one now before we plate anything?
Yes, of course. Thank you,
Madame.
Thank you very much.
So we've got our cookies. So how's our stew? Is the
Stew-
stew ready?
I think
Can I dish some out?
a little bit longer.
Can we
you know?
turn up the heat a little bit?
Heat turn up. Here you go.
So this one probably takes about 20 minutes to cook, and we've had it cooking for about 10 minutes. So it probably needs another 10 minutes. But what we will, should we dish them out and pretend that it's done?
Yes, of course.
All right, but only one plate,
Yes.
since we don't, and maybe we can put the cilantro in now.
Yep.
So cilantro, a wonderful chelating agent.
Yes.
It pulls toxins out of the body, pulls,
Detox.
detox. Plus it gives that wonderful flavor.
Yes.
All right, so if I were serving this to company or to myself,
Yep.
I'd put some rice and lentils
Yes.
on here.
Looks delicious.
And then we'll put a little bit of this on top of the lentils.
Yep. Maybe two. Any sauce?
Yeah, a little bit of sauce for sure.
Carrot.
And some cilantro too.
Zucchini.
All right, a little more cilantro, you think?
Yep. And then I would love to put in a little bit
And
sauce.
do you want to put a little bit of the,
Sure.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
All right. So now it's coming to a boil, which is just what we want. And it, all right, Messiah.
Yes.
So little?
More? I think it's a side dish.
I thought you like eggplant. I like
I
eggplant
know. I love.
too.
Yeah, but you know.
No, just push
More?
it. Fill the plate. Huh? There,
Okay.
there we go. There we go.
Here you go.
All right.
Can
All
I
right.
put more sauce?
Yes, you can have more sauce. Here.
It's delicious sauce.
All
Here
right.
you go. I don't know.
Oh, very good.
Here you go.
Okay. So we have made helter skelter 3 dishes. We've made. You want me to say Greek for you?
Yes, please.
All right. So Aya has made a Greek eggplant salad with a wonderful, wonderful goat cheese.
Yes.
And we have made a scallop
Curries.
curries, coconut milk stir fry with zucchini and carrots. And we've made a flourless nut cookie with a little bit of chocolate accent. So yum, 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 yum.
It was a very delicious cookie.
I'm glad it was very delicious.
Yes.
You can have more.
Yes, later. Later.
All right. So thank you all. We've loved having you, and we want to hear that you made these dishes too. Bye.
Bye.